tonight. Let your brother count on you every play tonight. Okay? And come out and have fun. The gates are locked. Ain't nobody getting out now. They can't run. The gates are locked. Let's bring the fight to them, guys. Yes, sir. All right, brother. Let's pray.
The Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live.
And good afternoon, everyone. It's high school baseball on NETSN, and no, I'm not Jaron. This is Brett Swinney here. Alongside me tonight, or this afternoon, we got Jeremy Diamond and Jason Cavazos. And guys, NETSN history tonight, first ever broadcast from New London, West Rusk tonight, and we do apologize in advance if it glitches any. We are recording the game, but it looks like right now it's holding steady, so hopefully you'll chat with us and let us know what you think about it. We got some nice camera angles and some other stuff tonight, and fellas, welcome.
Yeah, first time here for me in New London, at least not, passing through, and a beautiful day for baseball.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a great day. The wind's blowing in, which they need to at this field because it's definitely not a pitcher-friendly field. I'm very familiar with this field. I played both these teams, or my son played both these teams in his high school career. So
was this stadium built when you played, Jason?
We didn't play West Rusk.
Oh, y'all didn't play West Rusk?
No, West Rusk was track then. So
okay.
They were a track school. So
no baseball, huh? Okay.
No, they may have had baseball, but we never saw them.
Okay. Well, the Tatum Eagles right now are holding steady at 6-0 in district play. West Rusk at 2-2, and right now it looks like Tatum and White Oak series here in a few weeks could be a huge one for this district. But West Rusk, I mean, that middle is kind of clumped together. You're going to have some. They've been a lot of teams that have split. I was kind of looking at the Troop is split, and Gladewater and West Rusk. They've kind of all beat each other there. ARP's still in the mix, so you got lots of teams fighting for spots, and so every game's important.
Yeah, and I was able to be at Tatum on Tuesday night for the game. Again, this is a rematch from Tuesday night, and Tatum came out early and kind of put their foot on the gas and was able to come away with a 10-1 win. And so I'm sure Wes Rusk has got intentions on flipping the script tonight or today. So.
Yeah, I feel like it's tonight. We've been here a long time, getting everything ready, and hopefully we're able to get this out again. It's weird today, I know. Shout out to Jaron. I know he'll probably be tuned in today. He may even pop in on the chat at some point, but he's out of town for the weekend, and so we gave him the day off, and it took 3 of us to replace a 2-man booth normally with Jaron. So
Well, and I think too, we keep saying tonight, but this game was originally supposed to be played last night, right?
Yeah.
And due to weather, we had to postpone and move the game until today at 4. So you'll probably hear us accidentally say tonight multiple times, and again, that's just in reference to having that thought ahead of time.
Yeah, I will say this. I got here just a little before 2 o'clock. Coach Hendricks with Wes Rusk was out on the field. Has got the field looking really good today. So hopefully we got some good baseball to go along with it.
Yeah, and again, a different setup than Tatum, right? Tatum has the all-turf setup, right? An interesting pitching mound. Here we're going back to the traditional, right? You've got the grass infield, the dirt base paths, and you've got, of course, your pitcher's mound and home plate are dirt, and so it's a different feel, right, for this team coming in from Tatum. They're going to have to make that adjustment quickly because the ball is going to bounce different, right? All those things where this is going to be kind of plays to West Russ, I would say their advantage. They're used to this.
I feel like we're right on top of the plate too here. I mean, we're sitting directly behind.
This is a shallow backstop. That's always been one of the, I guess if you're not a catcher, it definitely is something that most will complain about.
Is there any pad in here? Or is this brick all the way around
It's
here?
brick.
It's brick all the way
So it's going to bounce. No telling where.
Yeah, so I think, again, we saw that a couple times on Tuesday where the ball got away from the catcher from West Rusk and Tatum was able to advance. I think you're going to have a little bit of a different strategy tonight, right? You're going to have to take that secondary lead and really see where that ball bounces.
Yeah, and West Rusk, too, when you look at it, you look at their catching situation. They're young at catcher. They did have last week a senior behind the plate who normally plays in the infield, but they're going back to their younger players tonight. So we'll see what it looks like with the catching situation with Cole Jackson on the mound.
Yeah, and looking at this lineup, it's very similar to what we saw Tuesday as far as the lineup goes. So, the difference obviously is Tavares was pitching on Tuesday, and again, as you said, Cole Jackson today. And so, and again, the same thing on the Tatum side, a very similar lineup. Obviously different starting pitchers, but a very similar defensive lineup for them as well. And so I think, both teams have come in locked and loaded, and we're excited to get this first pitch underway.
Yeah, and West Rusk, I mean, they're a young team. They graduated 6 starters last year. They graduated more than that, but they had 6 starters. Their entire outfield has been replaced, a lot of their infield. So you've got Jackson back, you have Tavares back, and then you have Reasoner who's out, but he is one of the other returning starter. So it's a very young team. They've got a lot to build on, but the seniors, I'm sure, would like nothing less than to go out of here with a win.
Well, and we got to watch him, like I said, Tuesday, and I was impressed by Cam Brown's speed. He plays in the outfield for him, and he was moving the other night.
Yes,
he can go.
Yeah, he's quick.
He was a lot of fun to watch, and made a couple plays out in the outfield that I thought might have gotten down, and so it was exciting to watch. And again, I think you have that sometimes, right? You reset a lot of your field, and the advantage to that is it's a year of maybe some learning gaps, but man, the next 2 years you have a chance to really strengthen yourself with new guys coming in, right?
Yeah,
you lose your experience, but then you gain the effort to get back to that spot again in a year or two.
Yeah, and I talked about it with Jaron before. These guys coming in, these freshmen that are stepping up, that's a great thing. And a lot of them play, nowadays travel ball is the big thing. But they come in, they're used to playing 13U, and you jump right up to 18 plus U. Because they're 19-year-olds playing right now this senior season. Not necessarily on these teams. I'm not sure the ages of all of these, but some teams have 19 and older. So it's a big adjustment
for sure.
Contest between visiting Tatum Eagles and your home team, the West
Oh,
Rusk
here's
Raiders.
the talked about the fielding lineup, and there's the West Rusk defensive lineup there.
Grant Adcock.
You got Brown in left,
Number
McCandless
21,
in center
Christopher
field. Of course, they're
White.
going to probably go over this, so
Number 7, Jackson
you
Prince.
hear the PA guy behind us. But I had to get some of my graphics in for my man Jaron. You know, I had to
Designated
worked
hitter
on that
for
real quick here.
Lead, number 11, Cole
More worried
Miller.
about the internet and the camera situation today.
Yes, we are definitely in an internet hole.
8, Dustin Hennigan. Number 17, Brody Downs. Number 16, Caden Tatum. Reserves are Tucker Anthony, Cannon Smith, Logan Kansler, Aldo Espinoza, Aiden Courtney, Landon Britton, and Jake Geiger. And now for your West Rusk Raiders. Home team today, leading off for the Raiders, be number 1, third baseman Gunnar Hart. In right field, batting 2 for the Raiders, number 5, Caden Landon. At shortstop, number 11, Troy Hunley. On the mound today for the Raiders, number 6, Cole Jackson. At first base, number 7, Cullen Tavares. Hitting 6th, playing second base, number 12, Chris Sanchez. In left field for the Raiders, number 3, Cam Brown. In center field today for the Raiders, number 21, Hunter McCandless. And your designated hitter for the Raiders, number 8, Jackson Johnson. He'll be hitting for your catcher, number 16, Braden Mooney. Reserves for the Raiders, number 10, Axel Sipes. Number 30, Christian Medford. Number 4, Jake Neal. Number 2, Jason Reisner. Raiders are coached by Ronnie Hendricks, assisted by John Tomsett and Jamie McCleany. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our Star Spangled Banner.
You can't tell there's a lot of wind blowing
It's a
today.
little windy.
I was gonna say it's gonna be hard to hold our papers still, and you'll probably hear some of that on the broadcast as well. And I'm sure if you listen to the lineups and if you looked at the picture there, you noticed that Wes Rusk had 4 subs, and 2 of those subs, one of them had a cast on his hand, another one is hurt as well, and so really they've not got a lot of depth.
No, they really don't. And both of those, one with the cast on the hand and the other one with the shorts, both of those play catcher.
Oh, well.
So that explains some of the depth issues they have right now at catcher. I mean, Mooney here is obviously doing a job. He's doing a good job. He's just got to make sure he's keep that in because Jackson is a different type of pitcher than Tavares. So, but you do wonder how that affects you. You know, as a pitcher, I wasn't a pitcher, but you wonder how that affects you when the catcher you work with the entire time is not who's behind the plate during the game.
Yeah, so I actually got to pitch a little bit junior high, high school, and it's hard, right? If you don't and not trust is a bad word, right? But if you don't have the same confidence in that catcher, it does change the way you focus, right? You're a little bit more cognizant of not putting one high or put one in the dirt, right? It puts more pressure on you. And again, I think we talked about Tuesday night. Tatum does a really good job of putting pressure on you. Every at bat seemed to be a high pressure situation. They had runners on base almost every time, and so as a pitcher, you don't get to relax, and that makes it tough too.
It does.
All right, so coming up to bat here for Tatum, we have number 2, Grant Adcock. He's your center fielder tonight. And we are waiting on the first pitch here from Cole Jackson. First pitch is low for ball 1. And again, I think a strong start here is really important for both teams. Who can get the front foot out first is going to make a big difference today. All right, a little off speed, little curveball there, a miss just high, and we got 2-0 is the count here on Adcock.
And it's probably just a filling each other out deal. This Tatum lineup is deep. I mean, a lot of them will hit. So West Rusk's going to see exactly what the strike zone the umpire has and try to use those edges.
Oh, man, it looked good from here.
Yeah,
he called it.
He called it. It was a late call, but we got it. Yeah, I thought for a second he wasn't. I was like, oh man, that's gonna be tough. But yeah, 2-1 count here to Adcock again. First batter of the first inning, top of the first here at West Rusk Raider Stadium.
Oh, okay.
That's that one when you watch, if you ever watch those games on TV, pro games where you see people behind the net and you wonder why they dive. You're like, the net's there. It's because the human reaction says the net's not there, right? That ball came close.
Yeah, you're looking straight through that net. You don't realize it's there.
Yeah, so we got a 3-1 count here. All right, foul ball, and we'll reset here with a full count. All right, he comes set, and the pitch. And a strikeout and a throw to first for the putout. All right, batting second for Tatum is number 21, Cooper Whitus. Cooper's their shortstop. He's had a really good season so far. Came off the state championship winning basketball team, is my understanding, and so comes in and slots in at shortstop. So he's an athlete, and again, their second place hitter. All right, starts him off with a strike, and the count is 0-1.
Oh.
Another healthy cut there, another good pitch.
Just testing out our home plate camera there. Jason, you did a good job there. Looks still intact there.
He's still surviving.
Always a danger, right? Bringing technology that close to the field, you got to hope it doesn't get hit. 0-2 pitch here, and time.
Yeah, Whitus, I remember him as a freshman. I mean, he pretty much is a utility. I mean, he played short. He played some outfield. He played some catcher that season. But he's pretty solid. He burned himself up there at the shortstop position.
High and tight.
Okay.
Buzzed the tower there a little bit. That one came in. Whitus flinched just a little bit. And we got a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And again, that was hot and heavy. I'd almost expect him to go away here, right? He's probably trying to push that inside to get one off the plate here.
Setting up outside. Oh, then he came right back at him. Woo.
And a strikeout looking. So 2 strikeouts so far in the inning for Jackson. And coming up to bat for Tatum is number 7, Jackson Prince. He's your catcher. And if Jackson gets on, expect a courtesy runner. One of the new developments since I played baseball. If you were a catcher, you just had to hope that you get to the sideline fast and get changed again. But I think it's probably a good adjustment. Ground ball through the infield there. Picked up by the first baseman, throw to first, and retires the side on a 4-3 putout.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on NETSN. And we are back here on NETSN with Brett Swinney, Jeremy Diamond, Jason Cavazos here in West Rusk. No runs in that first inning. A split 1-2-3 inning for West Rusk, so they'll get to hit here. And guys, chat with us if you're able to watch. Let us know how it looks today. We'll most likely be uploading a high-quality version later of this broadcast because I know it's going to be glitching a little bit. Getting this out in general is a win over here. I'm not sure there's ever been a broadcast from West Rusk.
No,
don't know.
No, not that I know of. We used to stream games for my son's team, and when we came here, we just recorded.
Yeah, dear AT&T, if you're checking in, or Verizon or someone, we'd love for you to put a tower real close. That'd be nice for future games.
Somebody.
Yeah, somebody out there. If you're paying attention, you got connections, we'd love them. But hey, again, on the mound today for Tatum, we've got Logan Tovar, and first pitch here to Gunnar Hart.
Leading off for the Raiders in the bottom of the first, number 1, Gunnar Hart.
Ball high on that one.
Yeah, just a little bit high, a little bit inside, right? Not much off. Second pitch here, and low and outside, 2-0.
Yeah, they're still really looking for this umpire strike zone at this point. First inning's always that feel it out inning.
Now that one's right where it needs to be. So again, the count is 2 balls and 1 strike to the first place hitter, or first hitter here for West Rusk. All right, ball a little high. So we got 3-1 here. Again, a hitter's count. This is that question: are you going to be patient as a hitter? And then as a pitcher, how much of a chance do you take on him being patient? Right? It's that chess match. Ooh, nice pitch there. A little bit of movement on it, tailing away from the hitter there, and we're at a full count here for our first batter.
Yeah, there was not much he could do with that pitch, even if he did swing. So it's a good take.
Oh.
And that ball's hit deep, but it is foul. Just ahead of that one, just a little bit. Took a little off of that one, and good contact there, but just a little early, and hit it foul to the left field side. All right, so we're back to that full count again. Tovar works quickly here off the mound. Foul tip, and that one hurts.
Yeah, that one foul tip right off the ground, back into the catcher's hand.
Yeah, those are the ones you feel the next day, right? Being a catcher is not for the weak. That is for sure.
Not at all.
And padding sometimes doesn't cover everything.
Definitely does not cover everything.
100%.
Not the spot that you need it to, at least.
And he walks him. So West Rusk gets their first place hitter down to first base on a walk, and then
that'll bring to the plate number 5, Caden Landon.
Your right fielder, Caden Landon.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the 2-hole. I will say this: he's got a nickname. It's Wheels.
Oh.
So
does that mean he can probably fly on the base pass?
He can. I think he's been built the same, though, as long as I've ever seen the kid. So
good shot there. They're going to look to turn 2 to second is clean. but couldn't get the glove switch there. And again, you said wheels, and he was at first base almost before the ball got to second base. So
Yeah, they weren't turning two on him.
no.
No.
So fielder's choice there. So now your third place hitter, Troy Hunley. So this is your shortstop here. Again, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Runner on first. Rips a single into left field. Ball's brought in
And
again.
runner
Landon
first in the
stops
ball
at second.
game. Moves Landon over to second base. 1 out. Cole Jackson, now your batter for the Raiders.
So they're trying to do a little damage early today.
Yeah. Notice the first hitter was patient, right? And then both the second and third place hitter here for West Rusk took the first pitch and lined it out. So again, how does Tovar adjust? Right?
Tovar, he's like I've dealt with his older brother, and I mean both of them have really good speed to the plate, and also have great off speed. And that was that straight ball that went straight on that inside corner for strike 1 against Jackson.
Yeah, and you got pitcher on pitcher here. You got Cole Jackson, the pitcher, as the cleanup hitter. Again, runners on first and second with 1 out. Makes contact there to short. They're going to try to turn 2 to second and to first, but the ball is dropped. So we get the force out at second. And then fielder's choice allows Jackson to get to first again. Landon moves to third base on the play. So you've got runners on first and third with 2 outs.
And you got somebody that can get there if you can put the ball in play here.
Yeah, and Tavares has got some build to him and some strength.
Yeah, Tavares I have seen him clear the fence on this field.
Yeah, and again, he pitched Tuesday night for West Rusk. Threw 80 pitches in the first 3 innings. Tatum made him work for everything, and so I'm sure he'd like to get something back today.
Ooh, that's way up there.
High pop. It's got a lot of snow on it coming down, and he makes
he dropped it.
He had it in his hands, and on the fall, couldn't hold on to it. What a tough play, though, in this wind.
Just being over there and be able to get close to that with this wind, I thought for a second that might come back at us.
Yeah, that ball was higher than our light poles here. It was quite a sky high pop up again, and you've got a 1-1 count here with 2 outs. Runners going. From
We
second,
hit that
and
one.
It's a sky high shot out to left center field.
Well, underneath it a little bit though.
And just missed. And that'll end your inning again. 1 hit, 1 walk, and a couple guys left on base. And again, at the end of the first inning, we are 0-0.
Got our first chat here in the chat. Coach Harrison, former West Rusk coach, now at Brookhill, another school that we cover, says the video looks great. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate it, Coach. glad to know that it looks good on the other end.
So far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Thank you, Starlink, right?
Yeah. We need a Starlink sponsorship.
Yeah, hey, again, we've got Colt Bullard up here on the plate. Again, he pitched Tuesday night, started the game for Tatum. So he's the DH today in place of Tovar hitting, who's the pitcher. And that ball is low and outside in the dirt. 1-0 count. Again, both pitchers were pretty efficient in the first inning. 14 pitches for Tovar, 11 for Jackson. So, Tovar allowed a couple base runners on, was able to get the outs when he needed them. And now Cole's looking to return that. All right, swings at a pitch in the dirt. Count is 1-1. And again, early, sometimes you got two different types of hitters, right? You have the patient hitter and then the hitter that wants to get something going, right? And Bull's, I think, a little bit more that guy that wants to get things happening, right? He doesn't want to sit back and wait.
Yeah, he definitely. I think he wants to put it back in Tatum at this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he's aimed about that way.
Yeah, and again, that's what you want from your cleanup guy, right? You got a guy with some power. You want him to put the ball on the field and get it moving. You don't want to be impatient, but you also don't want to be too patient. So here we have a 1-2 count. Again, top of the second inning. Ball's high, so we have a 2-2 count. And again, both pitchers have seemed to work pretty quickly here, which is always nice. You don't like it when there's a long lag between pitches. It tends to make hitters nervous, pitchers nervous, everybody.
Ooh, just a little
high.
A little high.
A little up.
Close.
That one's tough to take as a hitter.
It's definitely a competitive pitch, and you just hope that the umpire sticks with the strike zone because it was up, and he's been consistent there not calling that pitch. So.
All right, full count coming in. Right down the middle. Swing and a miss. Again, that's his third strikeout already. And now coming up to bat is the first baseman, number 22, Cody Hines. Was talking to Cody's family after the game the other night, and we were joking about all the padding that he wears, But again, such a change from when I played. Not much in the way of that stuff, and now it's such an important part of player safety. Elbow pads and shin guards, that changes a lot.
It does. It does. They had. I mean, we had cups.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was about it. Yeah.
Ooh, good cut.
Yeah. 0-2 pitch now, and or 0-2 on that swing. Yeah, I think you can hang in there a little bit more, right? Those pitches that were close before, you almost had to be a little bit more cautious. Now that padding allows you to hang in there a little bit and see the pitch a little bit longer. 0-2 pitch here coming in. And a foul ball. Back here toward us.
That was a great look. He was going for that backdoor slider, backdoor curveball, and it broke. It was going to catch right on the black, and that was strike three. So Hines did a great job on fouling that off and staying alive.
Yeah, and Jackson's had good movement all day on his pitches. Not many of them have been straight, all right? They've got a little bit of a tail on them as they finish, if not a lot. Time is called. All right, here it is, the 0-2 pitch. Pitcher comes set. Comes to the plate. Ball's high.
Ooh.
That one was close. That was.
Oh, look at that! Still good on the camera, Jason. You did a Eagle Scout job on that, I'd say.
Hey, I need all the help I can get sometimes.
MacGyver believed in
That's
duct tape, but
I
it's
give
zip ties now.
Keith those credit for those reusable zip ties. That was something he found.
All right, here it is, the 1-2 pitch. That ball came right over the plate, a little bit high, but Hines is able to drive it into right field. Good piece of hitting there. Behind in the count, was able to force something out of it and got a single. All right, Tristan Berry up at the plate, our third baseman today. He pitched the other night, coming in today playing third base, and he's got an opportunity here with a runner on first and one out in the top of the second.
Yeah, they're definitely playing him to pull.
Checks first. Runner easily back. Again, try to keep him honest. Yeah, you don't see a lot of the.
They can't shift on the other side of the bag anymore, can they? They changed that rule?
I believe they can in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, pro they don't let them. They can play about as close as you can get, but you got to be on the right side. But
Okay. I wasn't sure if they changed that all the way around.
No, I mean, I'll say this. There was a playoff game a couple years ago with my son involved, and he comes up to bat, and the first thing the pitcher does is disengages. They called the right fielder who stood between the pitcher's mound and the foul line at third base with the full infield in, so basically taking away the bunt.
All right, 1-0 count here. Pitcher comes set, checks the runner, and comes home. And that one, that was a close one. That was right at us. Again, we're thankful for that net.
I'm actually watching the camera angle. It's actually a better angle for where I am here.
I got you.
So I didn't flinch because I knew it hit here because I could tell the net moved.
Had there not been a net, I'm toast right now. I'm seeing stars. I look like those cartoon commercials with the birds flying here. All right, we got a 1-1 count with 1 out. Again, Hines is on first, takes a small lead. Barry at the plate. Calls time. I think he was trying to call time in the last pitch as well, and he didn't get it, and it was kind of a defensive swing there that caused that foul tip to come back our way.
Yeah, you definitely got to call it quick, because a lot of umpires will not grant it, which is in their scope. So
Well, you don't want to get the pitcher hurt.
And a runner takes off for second.
Oh, got him.
And he
Oh,
is out.
man. Great throw. Right on the mark. Just clear those runners off the board there.
Yeah, he got a late jump, it looked like. Probably not the jump he wanted, and then it definitely was a tough slide. I think the conditions from yesterday's rain, the dirt's a lot softer than it probably looks, and so when you slide, you don't get that slide you normally expect. He almost stopped on that slide. Again, it's a 1-2 count here, and time is called again. So quickly, we've got 2 outs, so 1, 2, and 2. Again, Barry steps back into the box. Pitcher comes set, and the delivery. Just a little bit high.
That's that high pitch he has not given the pitcher.
No, and I like that,
At least it's been
I think
consistent.
It's close and it's consistent, right? You want it on both sides. You see so many times when, the catcher is asking, why can't I have that on my end? But I feel like it's been even both ways. And he fouls that one off as well. So again, we're still deuces wild, as we like to say. When I was growing up, we always took our hats off and shook a little dice on that 2-2-2 count. A little bit of luck there, so we'll see what Barry can do here with his 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs here in the top of the second. That's a lot of twos. That's a lot of twos.
2-2-2-2.
Yeah.
Twos all around.
If it was Tuesday, it'd be crazy. What a pitch. That ball had late movement. Man, that thing froze him up. That was a good pitch. That ball tailed late, came across the plate. Again, that's 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings for Cole Jackson.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back here on NETSN. We are looking for sponsors as we're back here. I'd like to thank Tatum Baseball. Able to cover the
First pitch is grounded to third. Barry with a strong throw to first and plenty of time to get the out. Again, that was Sanchez, the first baseman.
They didn't take no time there, did they?
Well, that was quick. They didn't even let us get a breath in.
I know. But yeah, we're looking for sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor our broadcast, let us know. Reach out to us, sales@netsn.live. And also there's a form on our website you can fill out too for more information.
Yeah, and again, your sponsorships allow us to broadcast these games for free so that families that are here and away can watch their kids play. Again, a blessing that gets to happen. That's not always been available, as we know. Technology's come a long way in the last few years, and we're excited to
And it's
provide
not
that.
cheap,
No.
especially when you have to have extra stuff. This is like playing D for internet.
Yeah. So, again, a 1-1 count quickly here. Again, Tovar is not wasting any time. As soon as that batter's in the box, here he comes. And that ball, again, tailed away. Both pitchers have had really nice movement. Tailing away from those right-handed batters as that ball comes to the plate. And, again, a foul tip. Just barely got some contact, and now we have a 1-2 count.
If you're enjoying the broadcast this afternoon, give us a chat. Chat's open. All you got to do is click that subscribe button.
A ground ball to short. Widest picks it up, flips over to first, and plenty of time. Again, that's 2 quick outs.
Man, that was quick.
Brown with the ground
Yeah,
out
this is,
shortstop.
again, a much different game than what we saw on Tuesday night. Tuesday night seemed to be methodical. Tatum just moved along the base pass, and so today's a little bit of a quicker game. And then it seems like every pitch matters, right?
Hey, Trinity Valley is national champions in basketball.
Nice.
The
Hey,
junior
ground ball
JUCO.
here to second on the first pitch. Scooped up, and Hines delivers.
Man, that's the quickest inning in the history of innings.
And it got everybody in the infield involved, with the
Yeah,
exception, you had first one to third, second one to short, last one to second.
Yeah,
so.
and the first baseman was involved all 3 times, so you got everybody involved there. Again, a quick 1-2-3 inning. Just 6 pitches there.
All right, moving on to the third. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
All right, welcome back. We are in the the top of the third inning, Top of the third inning here. Again, a 0-0 ball game. Both pitchers have been efficient.
Definitely that. Both teams each only have 1 hit amongst them, so, 1 hit each.
Right. Again, great movement on that off-speed pitch for a strike there. We have the 7th place hitter, Dustin Hennigan. Henny, I believe, is his nickname, is what Jaron was telling me the other night. And he had a great game on Tuesday. Good, watches that ball outside. And so, again, we have a 1-1 count here, top of the third inning. Our score is 0-0. And, again, both pitchers are working quickly and efficiently. He comes set. And the pitch. Right down the middle. Hennigan fists it off. It gets to the second baseman. And the throw is just a bit late.
He dropped it a little bit too
Yeah,
there.
he did.
but it would have been late either way.
Yeah, full stretch there. Again, a great piece of hitting. Again, I'd definitely consider that a single. I mean, that was
Definitely.
not anything on the fielder or the throw, really. They weren't going to have much of a chance of getting him there. And now batting is the first baseman, number 17, Brody Downs. Again, we have a runner on first, no outs here in the top of the third. Again, there's that movement again.
That's that nice breaking pitch he's been working with.
Yeah, and you notice the hitters, that first time they see it, their knees buckle a little bit, right? It looks like it's coming in high and tight, and it just kicks right over the plate. Again, a little bit of a lead here at first for Henny. He's going to stretch it out another step and a half here. Pitcher set, here it comes. Bat was out for a bunt. He was able to pull it back, and we have a 1-1 count. You were talking about interesting fielding arrangements the other night. The second baseman for West Rusk was standing just to the side of the pitcher on a bunt attempt where runners were on first and third. They had shortstop covering second, and then the third baseman was in a little bit but close to the bag, and it was something I hadn't seen in a while defensively. It was an interesting setup. It was effective. There's a good bunt right there. He deadens it. Is he able to get to first? No, but he does his job and advances the runner to second. So a good put out there by the third baseman.
Yeah, great. That's just fundamental baseball right there. You definitely want to move the runner. So just a good job. I mean, you know, you hate getting out. Any player hates getting out, but he did his job. Coach is happy, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the bunt you want, right? You don't even want that third baseman to even think for a second he can get the out at second base, and he didn't. Now you've got Tatum here, the right fielder. Pitcher comes set.
Ooh.
That wind is whipping.
The wind comes set too.
Yeah, it does. Right in our faces. It's coming in. It's blowing in on the hitter. Hits a ball, a little fly ball out there to left field, and the left fielder's underneath it. Ball came in hot to the third baseman.
Ooh.
Took one in a spot you probably don't want to take
yeah.
one. Yeah, tender right there.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah. All right, so we have 2 outs here in the inning. Again, runner on second base is Hennigan. We're back to the top of the order here with Adcock, your center fielder. And let's see if Adcock can get anything going or if Jackson's going to shut the door here. Time is called. Again, we're going to have a little meeting of the minds here at the pitcher's mound here where they're going to get some signals lined up, make sure that the guy on second's not going to be able to steal anything and relay any information.
Yeah, they're probably setting up multi signs for it. They, the new pitch comm thing has really been interesting the last couple of years. But in the end, they're still, catchers are still giving signs. So anytime you got that runner on second, you just got to be sure.
Sure. Yeah, you don't want to get mixed up here. This is not a spot where you want to get something you weren't expecting as a catcher. And again, like you said, this isn't the normal catcher, so I think that even heightens the need for being clear.
Yeah, you don't want to. You're doing so well right now. This is a big out to get right here.
Yeah. Pitcher comes set. Jackson's going to come home here. Takes a look at second. And again, that pitch has got all kinds of movement on it. It's got great tail. And it makes it difficult for a hitter because you're looking for a spot a lot of times, and where the ball starts is not where it ends up, so it's hard to know for sure if it's going to be where you're looking.
Yeah, I'll cover something after this pitch, but this is different than the West Rusk teams of the past. I will say that too. Well, we got time for the batter. I'll say typically West Rusk lived off the fastball in the previous years. This year they seem to go a lot more with their off speed. I've seen teams sit on their off speed some, which has created some problems for them, but it's definitely a change from what they've done in the past.
And he makes a move there to second. Runner gets back in plenty of time. And again, he's just trying to hold Henny close, keep him from getting any ideas here with 2 outs. And then Henny's job is to do the opposite, right? It's to get in his head and make him wonder what he's going to do. All right, 0-1 pitch here, pitcher set. Again, good movement. Ball was well inside off his hand and came back across and caught the edge of the black.
Yeah, it was headed straight at his front shoulder when he ducked in, and then it broke straight across to the edge of the plate. So great pitch by Jackson.
Yeah, now you got to swing a little bit differently, right? You got more of a defensive swing here as a hitter. Again, 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Runner on second is Hennigan. Pitcher set. And the pitch. He's able to foul it off. It's going straight behind us. Out of play.
You know, now I'm looking for that off speed, probably down and away. You know, he gets 0-2. Usually he's coming with the high fastball, so I'm probably looking for that down and away at this point.
Yeah, here it is, the 0-2 pitch again. We're going to run it back again. 0-2, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. And it's a step off and nothing there.
Called a ball.
Yeah, he didn't get back before he went across. That leg came back a little bit too far there to get away with it. So it sends Hennigan on to third. All right. So it changes things a little bit here. 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Runner on third is Hennigan. Again, Adcock wants to get the ball in play and squeeze one out here. Try to get his teammate home. And Jackson's trying to shut the door. We got time again. Again, this is becoming a duel, right, between a good hitter and a good pitcher.
I feel like Tatum has called time a lot. Maybe they've seen something that kind of makes Jackson not like it.
Yeah, they did that Tuesday as well. You know, they don't want to sit in the box a long time. And, again, that ball just ahead of it, that went over the light pole. He had a good contact. That ball would have been yard had it been fair. But, again, he fouls it down the left field line out of play. And we're going to run it again.
It does affect how you pitch now. You've got that runner on third. You definitely don't – I don't know if he's going to go down and away at this point because you worry you've got a catcher that maybe hasn't got the experience of some of your other ones. And a pass ball, that, you know, you got that speed on third.
Yeah.
He's going to score.
Yeah. Yeah, and the runner or the fielder at third is not holding him on, so he's gonna be able to get a bigger lead than he normally would. That ball's inside. It did not come back across the plate, and that almost made contact.
Yeah, that one was breaking. It just didn't quite get in on it.
Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Again, top of the third inning, 2 outs, runner on third with the leadoff hitter Adcock at the plate. Pitcher comes set. There's the kick and the pitch. And that was a defensive swing there again. But again, he's able to stay alive there. That ball was high. But he's able to stay in the box and keep his at-bat going.
You know, the one thing you wonder on these little pitcher duels that you have, you start wondering how tuned in that your fielders are. You start worrying about that. To me, with younger players, you do start worrying about that.
Yeah, 1-2 pitch here. Pitcher comes set. Here's the kick and the pitch, and it's outside. Yeah, and again, great patience here by Adcock, right? He was in the hole 0-2. He's managed to foul 3 off.
He's working himself back into the count here.
Yeah, he's working it back to his leverage. Again, we got Deuces Wild with our 2-2 pitch here, 2-2 and 2 outs.
This is a big batter in the game, guys. I mean, this could go either get out of this inning or it could start a rally here for Tatum.
That ball's right down the middle, and it's ground through the hole between the shortstop and the third baseman for a single and an RBI for number 2, Grant Adcock. Great piece of hitting there. Yeah, so first runs on the board here. Again, like you said, that was a big pitch. Had a chance to get out of the inning there. And Adcock was able to swing the ball, strike count back to his favor. And now you go to the shortstop, Cooper Whitus. Yeah, and Jason, to your point, I think the third baseman didn't move on that hit much at all. I don't know if he was expecting something different or if he thought it was the shortstop was going to get to it, but he didn't really make much of a move there. And again, I think, like you said, you may wonder a little bit.
You do wonder, and as a pitcher, you probably want to see at least some dirt on that uniform, if nothing else. But it was good hitting, regardless.
And we got a timeout again. Again, I think this is just Tatum's strategy. They're going to count to a certain number, and if you get to that number and the pitcher hasn't moved, you're gonna call time. so that you get comfortable. You want to make the pitcher uncomfortable. He's trying to make you uncomfortable. And, again, if the umpire is going to allow it, you're going to take it. That ball came back inside. He's able to foul it off for the first strike. All right, White steps back in the box with an 0-1 count. Again, 2 outs. Runner on first is Adcock, the center fielder. Pitcher comes set. Makes a move to first. Back in plenty of time is Adcock. Again, pitcher is set. 0-1 pitch. No, he checks again to the runner. Back in time. Didn't even slide that time. Again, a little cat and mouse played over here at first base. Pitcher comes set. Now he comes home. Just on the outside corner there for a strike. Again, we got a second batter in a row on an 0-2 count. Can Whitus do what Adcock did and force the at-bat to swing in his favor? Is Jackson going to shut the door here on a small rally here by Tatum?
You know, typically Jackson's going to a high strike at this point, a high fastball. I'm not going to say high strike, but a high fastball at an 0-2 count.
Checks the runner at first.
Oh.
That one was a little closer.
Yeah, it was.
That was a little bit closer. He's got a pretty good move to first there. It's not, you know, it's a good move. Adcock saw it coming. Here it comes again. That time back in plenty of time.
And I will say, from knowing the first baseman Tavares, knowing him, if the ball's anywhere close, he's putting a tag on. It doesn't matter if the hand's there or not. He is going to let you know the ball is there.
Again, time is called by our hitter. And again, after some early impatience here, we've seen Tatum settle in and get a little bit more patient here at the plate. Again, 0-2 with 2 outs, runner at first. Pitcher comes set. And the pitch. A little nub on the outside. Whitus slips in the batter's box and grounds out to the pitcher. So that's a 1-3 ground out to end the inning. Again, that is the end of the top of the third, and we'll be right back.
Number 8.
And we're back here on NETSN as Brett Swinney, Jeremy Diamond, Jason Cavazos here. Bottom of the third, and if you're liking our video today, go ahead and like that and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. It really helps us out.
First pitch, first swing, ground to third, and Barry throws him out. Again, that was the DH, Jackson Johnson, so 1 pitch and a 5-3 put out.
And that's what you call, was it
With 1 out.
a good use of your pitches?
Quick work.
Yeah,
Quick work.
One pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, that's, you know, and again, Tovar's worked quickly. He's already at the mound, already set, and he's in the windup. And the first pitch is a strike. Again, that was a good off-speed pitch there.
You know, I could have used my 9-iron to dig that one out of the dirt there. I think that's what he needed.
Yeah, it looked really good till it fell off the table.
Again, another off-speed pitch there, and a 0-2 count. Again, Tovar is wasting no time. As soon as both of your feet are in the batter's box, he's coming in the windup.
He's not getting paid by the hour today.
No,
Jeremy.
he's not. That's right. And again, he's in rhythm and he's feeling it. 0-2 pitch here with 1 out. And outside and low. Ball skips off the dirt, catches the catcher in the face mask. Not another position you want to get hit with. That one rattles a little bit. Again, why they wear the protective gear, but it doesn't mean you don't feel it.
If he wasn't awake, he's awake now.
That's right. 1-2 pitch here with 1 out. Catcher sets on the outside, and ball is outside and low. 2-2.
It's a good pitch. This guy next to us had a good spot. I liked it too. It was a good.
It's a good
one of
waist,
those
definitely a good waist pitch.
You make the guy think about going for it.
Pitch comes home. Ball didn't quite break on him that time. Ball stayed inside, and we've got a full count. That one was close as well. It didn't have the same break as it did earlier and didn't quite come across the plate. So full count here, 1 out. And he got him with that one. That might have been a makeup call for that last one. I'm not sure. That was tied inside, but they'll take the K.
Yeah, that was definitely there. It didn't need to make up. So it was there.
Yeah.
It broke right in over it.
It
so
did.
Just a great pitch.
Yeah. And I've got the umpire right in my grill here, so he's in my way just a little bit. So first ball there, strike.
There we go.
Right there to Caden Landon. Again, Caden Landon is the right fielder today. And again, you said his nickname was Wheels, and I think he showed that in the first inning.
You like this guy's last name, huh?
Yeah, hey, I've got a son named Landon, so, a little bit of familiarity there. All right, 1-1 count. Again, Tovar is not giving me much time in between pitches here, but we're ready to go. I like it. Ground ball here to second. The scoop, the throw, the stretch.
Oh, he pulled him off the bag. Oh.
Ooh, I think he was.
Did he get back, though?
I don't know, but, man.
We got a good view.
He was there a decent amount of time. I'm surprised they called that off the bag. It looked like he had control on the bag. Coach Russell's going to check and ask for some help.
We'll definitely have that on. If you're on YouTube, you can go back and check that out. Because I know we got that pretty clear.
I thought he was on the bag with a catch. I think his foot did come off, but I felt like it was after he made the catch.
So I was watching here, and he had it, and he pulled off, made the catch, and then touched the bag after he had the ball.
And they overruled, called him out.
Okay.
All right, so appeal to home was successful here. And so we have the 4-3 referee umpire assisted put out. And that'll end the bottom of the third inning.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here on NETSN.
All right, welcome back. We're finishing out. We finished out 3 innings here. We're at the top of the 4th inning. Again, Tatum has a 1-0 lead here in a much tighter game than Tuesday night.
A pitcher's battle here.
Yeah, we've got a good pitcher's duel going. Again, Tovar's got 31 pitches through 3 innings, and Jackson's got 48. Again, just 1 run scored in that last inning. And Tatum up to bat is Jackson Prince. First pitch is outside for a ball, a little low and outside. Again, Prince is your catcher. If he gets on base, we probably see a courtesy runner here. Again, ball 2 outside. And then on deck, you have Colt Bullard, your DH today, who's hitting in the place of Logan Tovar. All right, time is called here. Again, the pitcher shook off a couple signals there. It looked like he didn't like what he was given. Wants a reset here. Again, 2-0 pitch. No outs, top of the fourth. Comes set, here comes the pitch. That is a lined shot into right field for a single there for Jackson Prince. A good piece of hitting there. Patient on the first couple pitches, waited for the pitch he wanted, and was able to line it into the outfield for a single.
Yeah, good inside-out hitting. I will say we're going to start announcing the counts at this point because there's just having a little technical stuff with something we're working on that right now, but we will announce the counts as we go till we can get that fixed.
Perfect. All right, well, here comes Bullard up to bat again. Runner on first, no outs here at the top of the fourth. You got Prince on first. Here comes the pitcher set. Kicks, comes home. You got a bunt by Bullard. And he does his job. He advances the runner to second on the bunt. And he's out on a fielder's choice to the pitcher. That bunt went right back to the pitcher. Sometimes that's dangerous. The pitcher took the easy out there versus maybe a chance of getting a runner at second.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how much you can deaden it going back to the pitcher. If he's got to take more than 3 or 4 steps, then he's going to take for sure out.
Yeah, and you got Hines here up to bat here, 1 out.
Yeah,
Runner on second base.
Yeah, he had a single to center field last time at bat, so looking for that again.
First pitch, inside just a little bit there. Not a bad pitch. Again, see if you can get him to chase there on that one. All right, here comes the pitch, 1-0 count. 1 out, top of the fourth. Time is called. All right, Jason, what do you think about all the sliding oven mitts and all that stuff? We were talking about that Tuesday night. It's such a foreign thing. It's become more popular, more common. It's worked its way down from the major leagues, but such an interesting concept. Ground ball to second. Runner gets a third easily, and then a 4-3 put out.
Yeah, going to the oven mitts, I almost want to actually give them actual oven mitts. I mean, it gives them an extra inch or two reach. I mean, so I get that. With the turf fields nowadays, it's a lot more common. Never have I played a sport and you got carpet burn, but here we are. So I think a lot of the stuff's necessary just for convenience, but of course a lot of it's swag too now.
Sure. 0-0. All right, ball's outside, ball 1. Again, the batter is the third baseman, Tristan Berry. First at bat was struck out looking, and so he's going to look to try to get Jackson Prince home from third base.
Sitting right here with 2 outs, so he would love to get a base hit, get him home.
Here comes the pitch. Ball's high, didn't come back down, kind of hung up there on him, and so we're at a 2-0 count. Yeah, and Barry the other night was a pretty patient hitter. Seemed to be in his first at bat. It just got him on that late breaking pitch there in that inning, and so I think he's going to be patient again, but probably a little bit more careful when those pitches are close.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, pitcher's set. Here comes the pitch. Ball broke down the middle. Ball is sky high to center field. The center fielder looks like he's under it and makes the catch. So again, that'll retire the side, and we will move to the bottom of the fourth inning when we come back. All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining in here with NETSN. It's Jeremy Diamond with Brett Swinney and Jason Cavazos. Excited to bring you some Saturday afternoon baseball. Again, we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. The score currently is Tatum 1, West Rusk 0. Been a bit of a pitcher's battle so far. And so Tovar will look to keep it the same. Again, he's been working quickly every inning and no stop here. As soon as the batter's in the box, he throws the first pitch for a strike. Again, a foul tip into the catcher's mitt, and we are 0-1.
Yeah, West Rusk is at 3-4-5 hitters, so they really want to get some work done on this at bat.
Again, sky high shot, just foul. Hundley was ahead of that one, and now the count is 0-2. And again, Tovar does not give you any time. You better be set in the box when you get that second foot in, because you're going to get about half a second, and he's going to be in his windup.
And I think that does make his off speed even more effective because you're already sped up.
Yeah, fly ball to right. And caught by the right fielder. And we have our first out of the bottom of the fourth.
Now batting for the Raiders.
And just a reminder again, we know the count and the count, the inning, and the outs aren't showing on the scorebook, but we are working on that. So we are at 1 out in the bottom of the fourth.
Yep, and then up to bat is Cole Jackson, the pitcher. First pitch is a strike. Yeah, so as Jason said, it's the bottom of the fourth, 1-0 Tatum. Again, the count is 0-1 with 1 out. Two pitches in a row, right where he wanted them. All right, so 0-2 count with 1 out. Again, this is pitcher on pitcher. Jackson would love nothing more to help his cause out here. Ground ball foul right into the dugout, hot shot. Hopefully everybody got out of the way on that one.
Well, like we said, you know, they're limited on their reserves over there, so the dugout doesn't have a whole lot of people in it other than just the players. But
that's true. But when you're batting, you got everybody in there,
yeah.
So other than on deck. Oh, ball's a little bit low there. Again, trying to get him to chase something. All right, so 1-2 count with 1 out here, bottom of the fourth inning in West Rusk here in New London. And the pitch. That ball had some tail on it. That ball had some backdoor on it. Didn't quite get back over the plate. It was close. We are at 2-2 count. And set. Here comes the windup in the pitch. And a ground ball up the middle. And that ball gets through to the center fielder.
Jackson with a 1-out single. Now batting for the Raiders, number 7, Cullen Tavares.
And that's just the second hit of the day for West Rusk. And now you have Cullen Tavares, the first baseman, up. Again, 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Runner on first. And Tavares up at the plate. Pitcher comes set. Kick and the throw. Ball's low and outside. Ball 1.
Tavares is signed with Middle Georgia to be a pitcher. He does have some pop in his bat, so it's kind of not your typical pitcher.
Fly ball deep to left field, and that ball has gone.
As I said, he had some pop in his bat.
He does have a little pop in his bat. He hit that pine tree about a third of the way up. Quite a tall tree out there in left field, and he left it a no-doubter. So 2-run home run there for Cullen Tavares. And the score is completely flipped on us. And now you've got West Rusk with a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And again, first sign of trouble at all for Tovar.
Sanchez.
And now first base, the second baseman, Chris Sanchez, is up. Again, we've got 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Tavares' home run makes the score 2-1. West Tovar feels really, really comfortable in the windup. He comes quickly. Again, foul tip. So 0-2.
Man, I got a really good view of that jack
Came
there.
right underneath you?
Yeah.
Or right above you?
That was a 2-run shot, wasn't it?
It was. Yep, so 2-1 game here. 0-2 pitch with 1 out.
Oh.
And a little nubber hit to the third baseman. Barry's going to have to come up with it quick. Makes the throw with the stretch.
Got it.
And he got him. Again, a great stretch there by the first baseman, Downs, to get the out. So, again, a 5-3 ground out. And now we have 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth inning. And up to bat is Cam Brown.
And now the scorebook should be right. We had to get Brett back over here so that way he could fix it because you don't want me messing with buttons.
And the pitch.
It's all right.
Right down the middle.
It's okay. We'll blame Jeremy for my trip out there. He plugged the power in the wrong power on the camera.
Oh, no. That'd be my – hey, listen, that camera was a long way up there. I found the first spot. That's why I said it's not.
I was like, well, I thought I cooked the battery out for the wireless, but I was like, it shouldn't be out. But, yeah, well, when you set up way early and you have stuff on, that's why we have the power cords out there.
Foul ball back behind us. And now the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here again, 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And then I had to try to duplicate the picture looking at it from way up high. So hopefully it's a good picture still there for everyone.
All right, here's the windup and the pitch. Outside, swing and a miss. Got him to chase one low and away. Ooh. And that'll end the bottom of the 4th inning. Again, your score, West Rusk Raiders 2 and your Tatum Eagles 1. All right, welcome back. Again, we're NETSN broadcasting here from New London, Texas, the home of the West Rusk Raiders. Again, I have to say it slow because I mess it up every time. But here we are, top of the 5th inning. Leading off for Tatum is Dustin Hennigan, the left fielder. Pitcher comes set. Here comes the pitch.
Ooh,
and again, another good off-speed pitch for a strike. Again, both pitchers have really pitched well overall. A couple pitches they probably want to have back, but really have been a good ball game tonight. Or today, 2-1 West Rusk.
I feel like we should say that in like is it Elmer
Fudd? West
Waddle. Yeah. We should just say it in his voice, and then it wouldn't matter, right?
That's true. I'm telling you, I just have to think. You know, it shouldn't have to, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. All right, 1-1 pitch here.
We talked about it before the game about this being a hitter-friendly park. Definitely so. I mean, you know, I played in a pitcher-friendly park is where my son played last, so it's different. But, you know, it's great.
Left fielder slips, but is able to still make a recovery and make the catch on a line out to left field there by Hennigan.
Yeah, but just going, you know, both teams are getting to hit in this environment, so.
Right.
It's equal, right? It's
and that ball probably gets out in most places. I don't know. It had enough sting on it.
I was not too far away from it, guys, when I was coming back from looking at the camera, and it was into the trees. Like it still hadn't landed when I saw it, so it was out by a pretty good ways.
All right, first pitch to Downs is outside for a ball. Again, Downs is up. In the 3rd inning, he grounded into a fielder's choice, advanced the runner to second, and so he's up here again for his second at-bat of the day. So
yeah, he had that nice sack bunt. Did a great job with that. Did what he was asked.
And ground ball here to the shortstop. He charges, makes the throw, and in time. All right, and quickly we have 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. And now you got Caden Tatum coming to the plate here. Tatum in the 3rd inning flew out to left field. Hit a pretty high pretty high fly there in that 3rd inning, and the left fielder was able to get under it. And here he is for his second at bat. swings through the first one. And again, you'd love to get your ninth place hitter here some action so you can get back to the top of your lineup and cycle through your team here a little bit. Let's get that lead back. If you're Tatum and if you're Jackson, you're trying to shut that door and prevent that from happening.
Yeah, you'd like to see the top of that order come with nobody on base.
Ball's low. So again, we have a 1-ball, 1-strike count with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Ground ball to second. Oh, bobbled. Little bit of a tricky hop there for the second baseman.
Definitely go down though as an E4.
Yes. So gets the first on the error. And now we do roll to the top of the lineup. Here we have Grant Adcock, who struck out in the first inning and in the third inning hit a single to left center field. And was responsible for the run that was driven in that inning. All right, here's the pitch. Ripped into left field. Oh, the ball was dropped by the left fielder. Looked like he had it, lost it at the last second. He is going to send in from third. Do we have a play at the plate? The ball is held, and the run is scored. Great piece of hitting there by Grant Adcock. Again, I'd probably go E7 on that one. Jason, would you agree as well?
I'd agree with that. Of course, I score hard. I just
Jason evens up with 10, 12 errors a game over here.
The last
he's
one
harsh.
I did, it was about 10 errors
See?
on one team.
So again, 2 errors in the inning. Again, we saw that on Tuesday night. It hurt West Rusk with a couple of errors that caused innings to move on when they could have gotten out of them. And again, it comes to get them again. We've got a 2-2 ball game here.
2 outs. They just need to get out of this inning here. See if they can get out with a tie.
Ball caught the outside of the plate there, according to the umpire. And we have an 0-1 count. Again, Whitus is up to bat, the shortstop, looking to add to the total here for Tatum this inning. All right, here comes the 0-1 pitch. Checks the runner on second, checks him again, comes home. Ball is high and outside.
And you got to wonder, you got to hope Jackson calms down just a little bit. It's got to be a little frustrating because he had 2 outs before those 2 errors. So, he's got to be a little frustrated. So.
Now, and he has been successful against Whitus. He got him for a strikeout in the first and then ground out to the pitcher in the third. Again, nothing like a little high school baseball, right? Nothing like the dugout, a little heckling, right? That's always fun. So, again, he checked on the runner on second, made a fake move, and now he comes set again. Comes home. Ball is flied. That might get out of play, and it just does. Got some fans out there. Somebody didn't quite get it, but thankfully it didn't get them.
Thankfully didn't get my camera down there.
Yeah.
On third base.
Been a little friendly fire.
Yeah.
All right, 1-ball, 2-strike count, 2 outs in a 2-2 ball game, top of the 5th inning. Again, Cooper Whitus, the second-place hitter, against the starting pitcher, Cole Jackson.
You got it, coach. Let's go.
Pitcher comes set. Time is called. Again, we got a little bit of a chess match going on here. Whitus is making sure he gets the time he wants in that batter's box and not more. And the pitcher's trying to make him wait as long as possible. Comes set, checks the runner at second, checks him again, spins, makes the throw, not in time. Again, with 2 outs, there's 2 points to this. I'd rather my pitcher focus on the batter at home than the runner on second. I think that distraction can cause you to miss pitches that you normally put over, so I'd much rather my pitcher focus on the batter with 2 outs.
Yeah, I think that's too. I mean, the batter's what's important, right? You get him out, doesn't matter what the runner second does.
Set, kick, and turns.
And just the flip side, playing devil's advocate on it, you got 2 outs right off the bat, then 2 errors even up the game. I mean, you may be looking for some time to catch a breath, take a deep breath, and settle down, get back in your own zone. So, I mean, there could be a few things playing in.
Very true, very true. Yeah, and so here we go, 1-2 pitch, 2 outs, runner on second. Here he comes, and the ball is lined to right field. Does it get down in fair play? And just foul. Just foul. Not by much. Again, keeps it alive. Almost had a situation where it did matter what that runner on second was, right? That was a great piece of hitting there. Just missed the line. And again, he's going to come back and do it again. So we get the runner back to second on a reset, get the batter back in the batter's box. Let's see what Whitus can do here. Again, we got a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. We just tied the game up at 2. Time is called.
I guess there's a limited timeouts in baseball, huh? Sometimes it's a little butch.
For the batter, I mean, like I said, it all depends if the umpire grants it. So sometimes I've seen umpires get tired of it and they will not grant it.
Yeah. Steps off the back of the mound again. Again, we're playing cat and mouse here, right?
I think the field umpire may be getting a little tired of it because he almost turned his head. He kind of turned his head like, oh, come on, guys.
Yeah,
it's hot out here. They're in black today. It's a little warm.
Well, and you wonder again if that was maybe a mix-up on the catcher pitcher there because they went out to maybe straighten out the signal and the call here, maybe change it up. All right, so Whitus steps back into the batter's box again. We have a 1-2 count with 2 outs. It feels like this at-bat's been going on for about 20 minutes. Guys are playing cat and mouse with each other here. Runner at second. Pitcher set. Here's the kick and the throw. And that ball is driven to left field. He reaches up and cannot make the catch, and that ball is gone. We've got a 2-run Jimmy Jack for Cooper Whitus. Again, a great shot there to left field. Ball had just enough carry. Wind died just long enough for a 2 RBI double, or 2 RBI home run. And again,
those 2 errors.
Yeah, 2 errors have led to 3 runs. Only one of them earned.
That's a good effort by the left fielder, Cam Brown. He tried to hop the fence and do everything he could to get over that.
I was going to say, he didn't miss by much. But ball just out of his reach. Again, you said earlier, both teams are playing on the same field. And again, I think this hitter's park played into Whitus's hands. All right, Jackson comes set to the third place hitter, Jackson Prince, our catcher. Ball's high and inside. And again, you're hearing the Tatum fans coming to life a little bit here as the score is flipped back the other direction. 1-0 count, ball comes in. Great breaking pitch there.
Guys, I can go back, and Jason probably agree with me. You could put this right back on those errors. I mean, this inning should have been over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that ground ball to second kills you, too, because they had plenty of time. And here's the pitch. Ball's a little bit high, 2-1.
And then even the missed fielding in left field while ago.
That wasn't as easy of a play. That ball was tailing a little bit, but one you should catch as an outfielder. All right, 2 balls and a strike. Again, the fly ball to left field. And that ball is down right on the line. And Prince is going to hold it first.
Man.
So a long single there for Jackson Prince right down the line. And this inning keeps going. And it looks like we're going to have that moment with 2 outs here where we're going to get the courtesy runner. And so we're going to see
number 25.
Yes, and that is Aiden Courtney. So Aiden Courtney is going to be the courtesy runner here. And again, at bat, you have your cleanup man, Colt Bullard. And he's going to look to do the same thing that his teammate Whitus did and put 1 yard. Again, checks the runner at first, gets back in plenty of time. Not a bad idea, right? A guy coming right off the bench. Maybe he's not quite as locked into the game, and maybe you can catch him sleeping. All right. Ball comes in. That ball is driven to center field. and that ball gets down.
Oh.
It's bobbled by the center fielder, but no harm as both runners just advance one base. But again, the hits just keep coming, and it is 4-2.
It's contagious.
It is. And, you know, that's the thing. These innings happen like that, right? You get a hit, you get another hit, and guys start going, oh, that's right. That's the beauty of baseball. And then on the other side of it, the flip side, the tragedy, right? Here you have Cody Hines, the second baseman up.
And then the pitches are starting to stack up on Jackson, too.
They are. Yeah, you got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Ball comes in high. You can kind of see it a little bit. He seems to be laboring a little bit more as this inning's wearing on. Not as easy in his movements. All right. Comes set. Comes a pitch. Ooh,
Ooh.
that's tight.
Woo.
That one buzzed the tower. If you weren't awake before, you are now.
That is for sure.
That one, those that sweet chin music there, right, as they used to say. All right.
Little Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, 2-0 count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch. That is low and inside. Gets away from the catcher, and both runners are going to advance. Again, a short wall here, but the catcher unfortunately got enough of that one that it actually didn't help him. He didn't get any kickback from the wall. And so a pass ball, runners advance.
Looks like
And I think the coach is going to come out here and just try to talk to his pitcher at least a little bit, see where his head's at, give him a chance to catch his breath.
Well, if they've got anybody warming up over there, too, it would buy some time if there's anybody down there in the pen warming
Yeah, and
up.
it's just out of our line of sight. We can't see it. It's on the other side of the dugout, so we're not sure. But coach is going to take as long as these umpires are going to give him.
Let's see. Looks like maybe there is somebody throwing down there.
Yeah,
Or
and
at least standing up.
Yeah, and that may be what it is too, right? It's again that strategy. Try to delay a little bit, give him a few more chances to get warm. Again, talk to Jackson, calm him down. Hey, we're okay. Let's get this last out. Make your pitch.
It's a tough spot too. It's 3-0. If you're a hitter, are you taking here? Are you knowing he's can throw a strike, and you've got a chance to knock a couple of runs in. Jason, what are you thinking?
we got 2 outs, so it would have to be on a tee if I even considered swinging. But
yeah, I'd be shocked if Coach Russell gave him the green light here. I don't know that it matters what hitter in your lineup it is. I think a 3-0 count with a pitcher that's struggling, you got to make him throw one. Now, if he throws you a can of corn over the middle, send that thing out to the grocery store. But
yeah, I think.
Oh, here we go.
I think they intentionally walked.
They did.
So is that new? They don't have to even pitch them out?
Yeah, so you can hold up 4 fingers and do that. You don't even have to throw a single pitch anymore. Used to the pitcher had to throw 4 of them somewhere wide, and again to keep pitch counts down.
It makes sense. Like why just throw a pitch up there? Anyway, it would waste 4 pitches of the pitcher's arm.
Exactly. We got Barry here at bat. Again, he'll be the 9th hitter this inning, and he's got bases loaded. That ball comes down the middle, and he just misses it, fouls it back. Again, out of play. Again, we've got runners on the bags are loaded. We've got Prince at third, Bullard at second, and Hines at first. Again, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning.
Well, you don't have Prince at third anymore.
Oh, excuse me, not Prince at third. You're right. You're right. It's Aiden Courtney. My apologies there. He's suited up and ready to catch the next inning. Thank you for catching that.
I assumed it too at that point till I looked over and I said, that doesn't look like Prince.
It's not the same build. Here's the pitch. Again, fouls it off. It looked like on that one, Barry might have been stepping back. I think he didn't expect that ball to break, and he was kind of almost leaning out of the box, afraid it was going to come in, and then the ball broke, and so he didn't have his momentum really behind that swing. All right, so 0-2 count with 2 outs. Bases are loaded. Barry wants to keep this inning going. See if we can, get everybody back around and get back to Hennigan, who led off the inning. And Jackson needs to shut the door here to stop the bleeding. Shakes off the pitch. Shakes again. Time is called. Again, I think a smart move by Barry. You don't want to be in the box forever in a situation like this. You want to be ready to go. Again, we're a little cat and mouse here. All right, pitcher comes set. Your 0-2 pitch. Down the middle, and Barry drives one. That ball's in the middle of about right center field, and it is caught.
Ooh, big out there for West Rusk.
And that will end our inning. So the end of the top of the 5th. And again, we'll be right back.
At the bottom of the 5th inning, center fielder number 21, Hunter McCandless.
All right. So we got Hunter McCandless, the center fielder here. Bottom of the 5th inning again, 4-2 Tatum. First pitch from Tovar is low for a ball. Yeah, and, you know, again, that inning really changed things, right? I mean, if you're West Rusk, you're coming into that inning, taking a 2-1 lead, excited, and then just not able to get things done with 2 outs. You had 2 errors, led to a 2-run home run, and then another run scored after that. And so what was a 2-1 lead became a 4-2 hole. Grounded to third, throw to first, got him out. And so we have 1 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. 5-3 ground out again. Coming up now as your DH.
Designated hitter number 8, Jackson Johnson.
Jackson Johnson. So the DH is up to bat here. Again, this is your 9th place hitter. He's batting in place of the catcher. First pitch is low. Ball 1. Pitch 2. Sky high pop up out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, last time he was up, he did ground out to third base, so I figure this next one probably going to shortstop.
Or it's a little bloop, caught on the run by the second baseman Hines. Great fielding play there by Hines. Was quick on the run there and able to track it down over second base there in the grass. So we have 2 quick outs here.
Batting for the Raiders, number 1, third baseman, Gunnar Hart.
Again, nothing more you want, right? 6 pitches and 2 outs if you're Tovar. His pitch count is low. Coming into the inning, he was only at 49 pitches, so that puts him at 55. Strike there. Again, we're back to the top of the order. It's Gunnar Hart. All right, here comes the pitch. Inside, he fights it off into left field, and it is a fly out to left. So again, that'll end the inning on just 8 pitches. Exactly what the doctor ordered if you're the Tatum Eagles, and we will move into the 6th inning when we come back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here in New London, Texas, home of West Rusk Raiders. We are in the top of the 6th inning. Again, Tatum holds a 4-2 lead. And at bat again to start the inning is Dustin Hennigan. He led off the last inning. They batted all the way around. And here he is again leading off in the 6th inning. Again, Jackson's still on the mound. He's a little over 80 pitches. He's checking the sign, seeing if he likes what he sees. He's going to step off.
Are we surprised?
No. You know,
Somebody was going to call time.
That's right, that's
Some
right.
way.
you know, and again, as a pitcher, you want to be comfortable. You don't want to throw a pitch you don't believe in, right? But at some point, you got to trust the other people, too. I think it's a both and. All right, he comes set. Here comes the pitch. Caught the edge of the plate there for the first strike of the inning. A good pitch there.
Yeah, it swept across the plate.
All right, he comes set. 0-1 count. Here's a kick and the pitch. And a driven ball to left field just over the third baseman. And a good piece of hitting there again by Henny. Again, how you want to start the inning off if you're Tatum is just keep it rolling, right? Finish where you left off. And now you have up to bat the first baseman, Brody Downs. Again, Brody, we talked about earlier, had a sack, bunt to advance a runner, and then he ground into a 6-3 ground out last inning. And so he'd like to advance his teammate here from first, at least, if not get a hit himself. Runner checked over at first. He's back in time.
Third baseman's in, expecting that bunt.
Here's the set, the kick, and the pitch.
Ooh.
And he wasn't bunting.
No, he was bunting for the fences.
Yeah, that was not a bunt swing at all.
They're not pulling him in, though. They didn't convince him. He's still going to play in.
Yeah. All right. 0-1 pitch. Way outside on that one.
That's a brave third baseman there. I mean,
Yeah, because if he hits one,
if that swing he just took, man,
it's already a hot corner. It gets hotter when you're 10 feet closer than or 20 feet closer than you normally are. That grass isn't very far out. All right, here's a 1-1 pitch. Checks the run at first, throws to first, back in time.
Yeah, I played third base when I played, and I think that position is just under the catcher as far as the bumps and bruises.
1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, stayed up that time, had good movement on it, just didn't come back down over the end of the zone.
Yeah, if a hitter gets on top of one, they're usually humming when they're going that direction. Well,
yeah, and we talked the other
right-handed
night.
at least.
We talked the other night. That's why a lot of these, the major leagues, they force their first and third base coaches to wear batting helmets for that reason. That ball's outside again. So we have a 3-1 count. Again, nobody out. Dustin Hennigan. Henny is on first base, and Brody Downs is at bat with a 3-1 count. So does Jackson give him something to hit? Is Downs going to be patient and make him throw a strike? We'll see. Here's the set. Checks the runner at first, the kick and the throw. And we got a ground ball. And again, a fielder's choice ground out. But again, Downs does his job. So now Hennigan's at second. We've got one out here in the top of the 6th inning. And the 9th place hitter's up, Caden Tatum. And again, he was the one that reached on an error last inning and was able to come home on the
bomb.
The bomb. Yep.
So Jason, what are you thinking as far as the pitching goes here? I know they want to get Jackson all the way here, but is there anybody in the bullpen over there that you might be able to put in that you know of?
They've got a lot of arms. It just depends on which way they want to go with it. They've got a lot of young arms.
And checks the runner at second. Nothing doing. Well, and I noticed in the game the other night they had to call time because Tavares switched with another field player. They didn't even have a chance to put a guy over in the, to get warmed up because they didn't have a lot of subs, and so they had to throw an extended warm-up on the mound. Ground ball just foul down the third base line.
Yeah, and second base, Chris Chris Sanchez, you know, we called him Poppy. He's not built like Big Poppy, you know, definitely not David Ortiz, but he's kind of an off-speed type pitcher. You know, Hundley, of course, pitches.
Yeah, Hundley pitched on Tuesday. Sanchez relieved him. Sanchez was actually the most successful of the three. He was able to get 3 quick outs in the last 2 innings of the game for West Rusk on Tuesday night, and so he was definitely their most effective pitcher that night. All right, 1-1 count. Again, 1-1 with 1 out. Hennigan's on second base thanks to a sacrifice fielder's choice for downs. And you've got Tatum at the bat. Pitcher comes set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That ball stays outside, and the count is 2-1. Here's the pitch. That ball is a sky-high pop-up, and that's going to land just outside our field of play. So the count is 2-2 with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Again, thanks for tuning in today. If you're watching us, we're doing our best to create the what we know of as the first live broadcast from New London.
It's dropped some, so thanks for staying with us. We will have a high-quality one we'll upload to our channel later this evening, so we'll have that up for anyone that wants to watch it back and how we're seeing the game here. Hopefully it's doing okay though for you guys.
Jackson shook off the first sign or two, and now he comes set, checks the runner, and here he comes home, and that ball stayed high, and now we have a full count. So 3-2 count here, 1 out, top of the 6th inning. Again, Tatum with a 4-2 lead.
Jackson needs to see this one go get across here and get this out.
Yeah, he, at the bottom of the order, you definitely don't want to put them on for the top, because that's what caused damage last time, was the bottom of the order getting on for that top of that order.
Oh, foul tip. That's a rough one. That caught both the catcher and the umpire.
He's like, man.
He says, again.
Yeah,
and I think we misspoke earlier. Tatum actually scored on the error to the left fielder on that hit by Adcock, where it looked like it was a sure out, and he dropped it.
That was the tying run.
That was the tying run.
That's right.
And then Adcock was the one that scored on the widest home run. So want to give credit where credit's due. But Tatum had a great piece of base running there on that fielded play. Again, he got a head start on a 2-out hit, right? You're going to run on contact anyway, and was able to score on that.
Yeah, and I mean, this right here was a good pause. Somebody needs to call time again, probably. The umpire's bell's probably still ringing on that because he took it square to the
Yeah, he's
mask.
trying to figure out who's calling and why during in the middle of the game. But, again, a 3-2 count, full count here at the pitch. And, again, it's just a ground ball here. Tatum's doing a good job keeping himself alive. Jackson's pitch count is climbing, right? You can see him he just seems to be laboring.
So getting close to 100, huh?
He was I believe what did I say? He was at a little over 80 when we started the inning, and so he's climbing up there. So he's about 95 by my count. All right, he comes set. Full count. Here's he steps off, and the runner was back in plenty of time. So, again, 3-2 pitch. We're going to cycle it again and get everybody reset to their positions. Catcher gives the sign. He comes set. Here's the pitch. And that ball is high and tight, and he walked him. So, again, 1 out here, top of the 6th inning. You got runners on first and second. You have Adcock up. Again, Adcock last inning hit a good line drive to left field that probably should have been caught. Was dropped and kept the inning alive. And so he'd like nothing more than to do the same thing again. Put the ball in play, and let's see what happens.
If you're West Rusk, you try to pitch yourself into a double play ball here would be a nice way to end the inning.
Nothing better than that. And you got plenty of places you can get it to. Here's the pitch down the middle, ripped down the third base line. Coach Russell dives out of the way. Olayed at the ball. Probably a good thing he didn't try to touch that one. That was hot.
And if I'm Jackson, I'm trying to keep velocity on the outside part of the plate. the way they're playing, I want a ground ball to second. Yeah, he had the error last inning, but I want a ground ball to second to get that feed over to Hundley at short, and then
and the contact's going to be weaker, right? If you can keep it off the barrel a little bit. So 0-1 pitch, pitcher comes set, checks the runner. Here comes the pitch. That ball's on the inside part of the plate. So 0-2 count with 1 out for Adcock. Runners on first and second. You've got Henning at second, and you've got Tatum at first. Adcock's got a single, and then got to second on an error by the left fielder at last inning. Again, good movement on that pitch, and Adcock stays alive with a foul tip. He just seems a little bit ahead of that off speed. Just missing it by a couple inches. And it's hard to let that ball come all the way in with the amount of movement it has, too.
Yeah, and typically, like we said earlier, Jackson has been coming on an 0-2 count with a fastball up in the zone. So he came with that off speed. He was well out in front of that.
Yeah, 0-2 pitch again. Runners on first and second. Pitcher comes set. Kicks, turns, and nothing doing. Again, he's just trying to keep Hennigan close, especially with 1 out. You don't want him to get a good jump on anything. You want to try to get your best opportunity at, you said, like turning 2. Comes set. 0-2 pitch. Again, an off-speed pitch. And again, another foul ball.
And another pitch added to the pitch count.
That's right. He should be right at 100.
There's no limit, right?
Yeah, there's 110, and then if you're in the middle of a batter, you can finish that batter.
So he may not make it through this inning here.
He needs to really put it in the zone and depend on his defense. And I know that didn't work out well for him last time, but you just got to keep playing your game.
Yeah, you got to hope that they're going to make the play behind you.
Time is called.
I mean, I mentioned Tavares committed to Middle Georgia. Cole Jackson's committed to, I believe, Concordia in Nebraska.
Okay.
I believe as an infielder, not as a pitcher. I could be wrong. He could play 2 ways. But they're definitely going to watch his arm, obviously. He's got bigger fish to fry later.
Little nub there, foul. Again, stays alive. Grant keeps battling here, and Jackson keeps trying to make the pitch that'll get him out of this inning.
This could be his last batter at this rate.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a battle.
Yeah, he's just a hair over 100 pitches. All right, so 0-2 pitch again. It feels like we've had the 0-2 pitch now. This will be the 4th one, I believe. 4th 0-2 pitch of this at bat. Again, 1 out. Runners at first and second. Top of the 6th inning, and Tatum has got a 4-2 lead here in New London, Texas. Again,
I make him chase. If he's protecting the plate like that, I'm throwing him something nasty out of somewhere he's going to have to really chase.
Well, and I think the hard thing, too, like we talked earlier, is this is not the number 1 catcher. So do you trust him enough to throw something off and maybe low and to dig it without getting runners again in a bad spot? Here's the pitch. Another ground ball right into the dugout. Looks like Grant and the coach there are playing catch.
I'm gonna apologize now because it's been 0-2 for so long. I may forget to push a button for a ball or an out or whatever it may be.
That's right.
You hadn't had to do anything for a while.
I'm just sitting here.
Yeah. Again, another 0-2 pitch. Pitcher comes set, checks the runner at second, checks again, checks a 3rd time, and he comes home. And that ball is lined into center field. And it is
great
caught.
catch.
Runner tags from second, and he cruises in. So runner goes back to first. But again, a long, loud fly ball there by Adcock advances a runner to 3rd.
Yeah, that's nice job by McCandless, though. He judging that ball. He
misread it.
He kind of came in.
I was gonna say he didn't see it clearly, and then he was able to be quick enough to get back to it. Good adjustment by him. Again, 2 outs here.
Now you just worry about the batter here.
And you got Cooper Whitus. Again, last time Whitus was up, there were 2 outs, and he put a ball over the fence.
Yeah, you don't want to replay that one if you're West Rusk, I don't think.
Again, the scoreboard hasn't updated out there, but for us, we know that it's 2 outs here, 0-0 count. Widest at the bat. Again, runners at first and third now. Pitch comes in, catches the edge of that plate there for a strike, and then you see catcher's indifference as the runner advances to second. Again, 2 outs. You want to focus on the guy at the plate. Get that third out there. It doesn't matter what that guy does going to second. And again, you don't want to make a mistake throwing the ball down to second base and not get somebody to have that runner in third score. 0-1 pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, he's not quite going to get that call. The umpire's been given that outside corner, but that was a little bit farther than he's going to give him. I like the pitch, though. Make him try to chase it.
Yeah, 1-1 pitch here, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Ground ball up the middle. Again, scooped by the shortstop and out at first. So a 6-3 put out for the third out of the inning. And we are going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, thank you for tuning in here at NETSN. We'll be right back.
Is this the middle of the 8th? Oh, no, it's the 6th. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm in Boston here. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, you're good. Yeah, you think it was the middle of the 7th inning, right? You got a little Sweet Caroline, or I guess the 8th. Yeah, Sweet Caroline going. But
It's the middle of the 8th inning in Boston.
yeah, I guess this is the high school equivalent of the middle of the 8th, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, you can't help it.
Hey, we apologize for the poor singing. Hopefully we're making up for it with the broadcast here. Again, we'll I know the feed hasn't been perfect, but we're going to do a good job tonight of getting that uploaded when we get some better internet. We're going to get that to you.
Hey, it's going out, though, so
It
that's, that's a win here.
That's right. First pitch there, again, by Tovar is a strike to Caden Landon, your right fielder.
Give a shout out to our man, Jaron. He's not here today this afternoon. He's off on a little vacation, I guess, for the weekend, and went across the Louisiana border over there to the other guys over there where he used to. He's a youth pastor, and he's got one of his former students getting married. So a cool thing, get to perform that ceremony. Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. And again, a good chance for him to do that. And again, we're doing our best to make up for his absence. But again, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Again, a good game here today, 4-2 Eagles. The 0-2 pitch was just high and outside, so now it's 1-2. Again, bottom of the 6th inning. And Tovar is working quickly as he has every inning before. Ground ball, first base, and we got a race to first, and Downs is going to win that one. So that's an unassisted put out there by the first baseman. We got one out here in the bottom of the 6th. And the shortstop, Troy Hunley, up to bat. And again, Tovar has been really efficient today. I mean, before this inning started, he was only at 57 pitches, so 57 pitches in 5 innings. That's right at 11 at bat, or 11 an inning, excuse me. Oh, bobbled by Whitus in the throw.
Got him.
Still got him.
Ooh, saved himself an E on that one.
Yeah, you know you got a gun if you can bobble one like that and still shoot somebody out from deep short.
Batting for the Raiders, number 6, pitcher Cole Jackson.
Man, and Hunley's looking at his counterpart going, okay.
Tavares has been very efficient with his pitches, though. He's
Tavares or
Tovar.
Tovar, I'm sorry. Oh.
First pitch, that ball is ripped, and it is going to carry foul.
Yes, he's been very efficient.
He has.
It's been like pitch, ground out.
And again, it's unnerving how quickly he works, right? You don't even have a chance to call time if you're not comfortable, because as soon as you get 2 feet in the batter's box, he's moving.
Yeah.
He's not giving you a chance to think or recalibrate from the last pitch. It's feet in the box, and he's coming, right? 1, 2, 1 second pause, and he's coming. That was a great pitch there, good off-speed pitch. So quickly in a hole 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And again, counterpart is Jackson here, the other pitcher, the pitcher for West Rusk up to bat. And again, he wants to keep this inning going. He wants to get something going for his cause.
Ooh, that was
just, I guess he says
Just
a little
off.
just a little low, just a little outside there. Again, 1-2 count with 2 outs.
All right, come get him now, babe. Let's go eat. Let's go sit.
Tovar rocks. Here it comes. Tails back over the plate for the strikeout.
That one might have been a payback.
Yeah.
That one may
Now
have.
that ball did have some. It had some late tail. It had that backdoor slider on it. You know, it had a little bit of an S shape to it. But again, quickly out of the inning. Again, that'll be 6 innings here with Tatum with a 4-2 lead, and we'll be back for the top of the 7th. All right, welcome back. Again, top of the 7th inning, and we've got a new man on the mound. Second baseman Chris Sanchez comes to the mound again. He pitched Tuesday night, was really effective for West Rusk late in the game. Got 2 innings of work, only threw 14 pitches and got 6 outs. Didn't allow anybody on base. And so, again, I think West Rusk, the goal will be to do the same here. Quick work, get a chance for your hitters to get back up in that last inning and give your boys a chance to be the home team and make the late comeback.
Yeah, it's going to move Cole Jackson now to shortstop, and Troy Hunley will slide over and play second as the defensive change there for West Rusk.
And like I said earlier, Sanchez doesn't have the velo that Jackson has, but he's more of an off-speed pitcher. But he's really efficient when his off-speed's on. Even his fastball seems like an off-speed.
Well, and that's sometimes that you get somebody that's throwing hard in, you throw a new pitcher out there. Now they've got to readjust, and so it sometimes can take a few.
Yeah,
and this is the last inning here. So
yeah, and it felt like that's what happened on Tuesday. And I think too, with a 10-1 game, I think Tatum was probably trying to press for that run rule a little bit, and so they were aggressive. They swung at the first pitch. I think the first couple of batters, I don't think he got. Like I said, he went first inning. He was in 6 pitches, 3 outs. That's effective. So he's going to look to do the same here and shut the door. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt.
He did go.
And he did.
He went chasing for that one.
Yeah, that ball was low to begin with, and it just got lower.
What's the adjustment? He was kind of out in front of it a little bit.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. 0-1 count. That ball's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And how long, Jason, how long does it take to adjust to a pitcher normally? When you get somebody that's throwing heat and then you throw a guy that's not quite throwing it as fast? Is it?
It may take a minute. It's going to depend really on as he swings and misses. They're gonna have to adjust their place in the box and realistically their load time.
Well, and again, it's 2 things. It's not even the speed; it's also the different movement, right? The ball is moving differently out of his hand. It doesn't have the same cut to it that it did when Cole Jackson was throwing. So it's like 2 pieces that you have to fix. Line drive there up the middle, right through over the second base bag for a single there for Prince.
And so that just shows Prince made a good adjustment.
Yeah, he was able to adjust. It did those first few pitches though. He was taking him a minute to get adjusted there, but he.
This and this is nothing against Bullard here, but as aggressive as he's been, this is an at-bat I really want to watch with this adjustment. has looked like, what is that, Courtney took over for Jackson Prince over at first.
Yes, that is
Yes.
Aiden Courtney again as the courtesy runner as he was earlier. Yeah, so Bullard's been a little bit aggressive, maybe over-aggressive, right? You want him to see him settle in here. Got one right down the middle, swing and a miss. So an 0-1 count. Again, he's a good hitter.
Oh, he's a great
right? He's
hitter.
an effective hitter. And so you want to see him get his chance to show off what he's able to do here, and he would love nothing more than to do the same. All right, 0-1 pitch here. Again, runner at first, nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. Sky high. That is just onto the grass there behind the second base, and Hundley makes the catch. So pop up to the second baseman there, and we have our first out.
Excuse me. But yeah, we used to do that. We would change speeds with our pitchers, and that's what we would do, and that's what we would hope for, is to get those aggressive batters. I mean, great batters. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, Bullard's a great batter, but we'd try to get them out in front to where they're either popping up or whiffing altogether.
And here you have Hines again at the plate, the lefty. Runner on first, one out. He calls time.
No. You almost need like a time button. Time.
Yeah. All right, pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. That ball's low. Runner takes off for second.
Oh, he's out. He slid too early.
He did. He slid early there.
Man.
Caught stealing there. So now we have went from 1 out to 2 outs in the inning. Again, a 1-0 count here for Hines.
That's a big mess on the bases there.
Yeah, you almost wonder there if Hines wasn't supposed to maybe take a protective swing there to try to give the runner a better chance of getting a good jump. But it was an early slide. Again, the rain maybe have a play in that, right? The dirt's a little bit different after a rain. And again, you don't slide the same, right? On a turf field where they're used to playing in Tatum, you slide a lot farther than you do on dirt.
West Rusk gets this out, then they got a chance to. They're in striking distance.
Yeah.
You don't let them in more runs. It's definitely doable.
That ball's in the dirt. So again, we have a 2-1 count with 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Again, a 4-2 Tatum lead. Sanchez at the plate. Hines at bat. And then the bases are now empty after the caught stealing. Ground ball just foul. All right, deuces are wild. We got a 2-2 count with 2 outs here, top of the 7th.
Hines is 1 for 2 right now with an intentional walk in the 5th, so he's done some damage today.
Pitcher comes set. And that one's low and outside, so now we have a full count. So 3-2 count here, 2 outs, top of the 7th. Tatum with a 4-2 lead.
Barry waiting on deck. I'm sure he'd love to get a chance.
Time is called again. Yeah, you almost want to, the major leagues have adopted, there's a limited amount you can call time, right? There's a limited amount of throwovers. Here's the pitch. Drive into center field there. Base hit there for number 22, Cody Hines.
So we're looking for a timeout sponsor.
That would be
a very good one to
true.
be sponsors of all the timeouts this season.
All right, Tristan Berry struck out in the first looking, and then in the 4th and 5th both flied out to center field. So, again, he's looking to do some damage here. Try to put a few more runs on the board and put this game out of reach.
First one to reach out, and get that timeout sponsor.
That's right.
Isn't there an oil change place named that?
Maybe.
I think there's like a Take 5 or something like that. Maybe
First place that came to mind, I just said, no, we can't have that.
Yeah.
No.
I believe there's a Whiskey Myers song. Is that what you're referencing?
No, it's not what he's referencing.
No, Jason knows what I'm.
Yeah. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, ball gets away from the first baseman, and Hines easily advances to second. He could probably get to third, but he decides to think better of it.
I think it went out of play.
No,
it went into the fence because
it went into the fence, but Hundley got over to it.
You could tell the cameras over there attached to that fence, and it shook it a little bit.
All right, so now the runner advances to second.
Catcher going out to have a word.
This is a big batter right here. I mean, so we 4-2. It's doable, But Tatum has seemed to do best when they kind of get a break, right? The pass ball there on the play over to the first.
They take advantage of mistakes.
And they kind of snuck a snowball effect.
Yeah, that was what we saw Tuesday. No big home runs, but lots of just matriculating around the bases, taking advantage of opportunities. Again, they've done that today. Again, we did have the big fly, but that was after 2 errors, right? And so here again you see Barry would love to do some damage here. Good single here might get Hines home. That ball is low.
And, I mean, if you take out that error and you still have the big fly, that's a 1-run shot instead of 2.
Yeah.
So,
and again, we get the out at second, and there's no runs, and you have a 2-1 lead, right? I mean, baseball is a fickle game like that sometimes. And all right, here's the pitch, 1-0 pitch. Ball's outside, gets by, and Hines will advance to third. That's a wild pitch there. All right, 2-0, 2 outs. Again, this is definitely a hitter's count. You want Sanchez to make a pitch here, and you'd love nothing more for another one to get in the dirt and have Hines get a chance to score without having to swing the bat. A sky-high pop coming into foul territory here. The first baseman makes the catch. Tavares does and ends the inning. Again, we're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-2 Tatum. Wes Rusk is going to try to take the lead. We'll be right back. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, what could be the last inning if Wes Rusk doesn't put together at least 2 runs. Need 3 for the win. And again, we still have Tovar on the mound. He's been effective and quick all day long, and it's no different here. Called just a little bit low there. First baseman Tavares is up to bat. He scored on the home run, 2-run home run early that allowed Wes Rusk to take a 2-1 lead. And, of course, we know Tatum answered in the next inning with 3 of their own. And so Tavares would look to do damage again here with a 2-0 count. And the pitch. High.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming anywhere around the zone, especially on a 3-0 count.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they just went ahead and sent him. I might have just intentionally walked him at that point. Ground ball, third base, off the glove.
And still got a throw over, but
not in time.
Not in
Again, that
time.
kicked off Barry's glove and went to the shortstop. It was a closer play than it probably could have been.
Well, and Tavares doesn't run as well. He's coming off an ankle injury. That's kind of another deal with him. But
I'm going to rule that one a single. That was a hard hit ball.
Yeah, I think so.
That wasn't an easy play there, and so I'm going to give him the single on that one, and I won't charge Barry with an error. All right, here's the pitch. Again, working quickly.
Yeah, you got the tying run on the plate here.
Yeah. You got Sanchez, the pitcher, up.
Can
the relief
help his
pitcher.
own cause
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, he could flip. What will be a no decision for, just relief for him into a win if he gets a shot here, at least keeps the inning going. And again, the count's 2-0. And I think even that ball that was hit by Tavares, I'm not sure that was a strike, but he got a good piece of hitting on it. Again, 3-0 count again.
It's like he's come out this inning just not the same sharpness here.
Yeah, I wonder if you press a little bit, trying to get that final. You want to close the game out quick, and you almost do the opposite of what you've been relaxed and free flowing, and maybe you tense up a little bit.
And I'm sure that'll change. I mean, he's young, so.
Great pitch there down the middle. Again, it looked like the hitter was taking. He wanted to make sure he was going to throw a strike, and he did. So now we have a 3-1 count here, bottom of the 7th, no outs, runner on first. Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Inside.
Ooh.
Oh,
Got a strike.
Oh,
Oh, man.
I thought that almost hit the jersey myself right where I'm at.
Yeah, it looked – and I didn't have a great angle. Again, the umpire was in the way, but that one looked a little bit inside, but he got enough of the plate to get the call. So we have a full count, 3-2, no outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Line drive just over the shortstop's head into left center field. And now we have runners on first and second with nobody out.
We'll bring up the left fielder.
Man. Winning run at the plate, guys.
Cam Brown.
Back-to-back singles here. Coach Russell's going to call time. So we'll –
Looks like maybe we get a – he's come out not on his game. We're going to get a change here.
I think it's a wise move here, right? You don't want to play with fire.
Looks like Barry's going to come in.
Yeah, Barry's coming in to pitch.
And he was at third. So we'll see they're going to
the other night. I was going to say I think number 5, Tucker Anthony, I think is going to probably take his spot at third base. Would be my guess. He's come out on the field, unless they're going to make a bunch of lineup changes. That would be my guess.
Yeah, he just Coach Russ just said 5 for 20. So.
Okay.
Good outing today for Tovar, though.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, he was sharp for 6 innings. I mean, but minus the home run he gave up, he was on his game, and it just seemed like this when he came out. And they said he's young, Jason. It may just be nerves, trying to close out this game in a complete game here, and he just got a little bit behind in some of these counts.
Yeah. So. 6 innings pitched, no runs, but he is responsible for both guys on base. And so his hope would be that his buddy Barry here, who pitched effectively on Tuesday in relief, can do the same here tonight and close this one out.
And I will say this about every one of the Tovars that I've known. I mean, I don't see it so much being nerves, because they're usually pretty icy on their nerves. They're a pretty composed group. There just may have been just something a little off. Maybe he sat just a little longer, or as he goes, I mean, sometimes things tighten up. So regardless, just as a quality outing for him. So
yeah, 77 pitches. Again, allowing just the one at bat hurt him right, the home run.
So that's not the 80. What days is that? That makes a difference. Does that make a difference? Could that be why you pull him too?
He should be good to go. I believe he's got 3 days rest on this one. I'd have to look at my stuff, but I believe he technically would be good for. Well,
I don't know what that in between is.
No, I mean from the game. I mean, basically tomorrow's day 1. So if it's 3 days rest, he would be good Wednesday.
So which really wouldn't matter then.
Really wouldn't matter.
And my guess would be, you've got a couple of guys over in Tatum that can throw, so you don't have to run him out again.
Yeah.
Right? You got other arms. We saw Bullard, we saw Barry and Tovar on Tuesday night. So again, they've got the guys that can do it. So I don't think they'd be a pressing need for him to throw on Tuesday.
No, and I mean, if you look, I know Max Prep stats are a little off, but if you look at Barry's stats on Max Preps from pitching, I mean, his ERA is solid. So it's not like you're digging in the bottom of the barrel for anything. Barry's a quality pitcher.
Yeah, and Barry comes on. No time given there. Time was asked and not given. Again, ball 1. Again, Barry comes in here at the bottom of the 7th, inherits the 2 runners from Tovar. A 1-0 count here with no outs in the bottom of the 7th, and Barry's going to come in looking to shut the door. He'd love a ground ball here. Runner takes off a third. Throw comes down and is not in time. So a stolen base there by Tavares. And now I wouldn't be shocked if on the next pitch, Sanchez also makes his way to second base. You want to try to get out of that double play.
And I'm just talking about a ankle injury. And
Yeah, I know. You said ankle. That looked fine there.
He took off pretty well there.
He's selling that
so
pretty
again,
good.
1-1 count. Ball comes in. Off speed. Hit right to the third baseman who's playing up. Makes the play. Again, runner advances to second, but the runner does not advance from third.
Now batting for the Raiders, number 21, your center fielder, Hunter McCandless.
So runners at second and third with 1 out here, bottom of the 7th inning, and we have Hunter McCandless, the center fielder, up to bat. And again, Cam would have loved to have gotten that run home, but he did advance the runner, so he did get part of that job done. Again, kept the thing going, and you got 2 runners now in scoring position with just 1 out.
Would have been nice if he could have advanced the runner at third, but good job by the third baseman to hold the runner and then make the throw.
Great job by third baseman. That came on him pretty quick.
Barry set. Here comes the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. And again, like you said, Barry's got good stuff. He's an effective pitcher. He's got good movement on his pitches. All right. Base runners have been given their signal. Batters have been given his signal. They step into the plate. Barry's going to take his spot on the mound.
You're trying to keep Tavares close to third.
He comes set. Takes a look at third. Nice, easy toss over there. And Tavares was back in plenty of time. But again, like you said, keep him honest. All right, catcher set out outside. Pitch does come outside, and McCandless doesn't take. All right, 1-1 with 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Again, runners at second and third. Kick and the pitch. And a sky-high pop-up, and I think that's just going to go just out of play. Headache.
Oh!
And almost got somebody. Thankfully, everybody was able to get out of the way.
Man, between the stands and the row of chairs by the net.
Yeah. And those camp chairs are not easy to get out of quickly, right?
No.
They're not the same as getting out of a regular seat. They
Well,
kind of.
and it's almost if they get up and get out of there, then they're going to get hit. You know, it's one of those things. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, there's like a 4-foot gap between the bleachers and the chairs, and that's where it landed.
All right, 1-2 pitch. He comes set. Here's the pitch. Got him to chase and got the strikeout. All right, so 2 outs here. Bottom of the 7th inning, and you have the DH Jackson Johnson,
Now
who
play
is
for the
0 for
Raiders.
2 on the day.
Your designated hitter, number 8, Jackson Johnson.
And his job is to keep this inning going. He's got to get something on the ground and get on base. Again, runners on second and third. Barry has gotten 2 quick outs, and he looks to get a third. He comes set. Here's the pitch.
A little high there. Huh?
Little high, close.
Keep working, Jackson. Gotta work hard, babe.
All right, here's the 1-0 pitch. Comes set, kicks, and fires. Umpire says just a little low, and we have a 2-0 count.
Got a free base here. I mean, so it kind of gives Tatum a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah, but you don't want to get back to the top of the lineup if you don't have to. You'd like to get this 9th place hitter out of the way. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball up off the pitcher's glove.
Oh,
And
got him.
that was a close one, but a great play there by the second baseman to redirect Hines and make the play. And that's your ball game, ladies and gentlemen. The Tatum Eagles score a 4-2 win here in New London, Texas, at the home of the West Rusk Raiders. Again, a great ball game tonight. Brett, any final thoughts?
Man, it's been a fun one today. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the broadcast. Again, we do apologize for the glitches, but hey, we got a broadcast out, a full broadcast, and we'll upload the high quality of this broadcast. We've got recorded a little bit later and get that shared out on our social media. And give a shout out to Jaron Peoples for he's having a good weekend, but we missed him today, and
for sure.
he'll be back to I think him and Keith are going to be in Troop on Tuesday evening, and so Keith's going to jump back in the booth and kind of get some training and stuff with Jaron, and then I think Friday maybe Keith will be traveling out to Tatum. I think that's the order of the games. I'm not sure, but Troop series for Tatum next week. We'll have it Tuesday and Friday, weather permitting. I mean, you have to say that nowadays with the weather.
That's
so
true.
Should be a good one. And then I think Tatum will close out district with the series with
the White Oak series.
White Oak, and that's going to be a good one. I think I'm going to be helping with one of those games in that series. I think that Jaron guy is just taking all these days off.
I think he took the days off just so we could make sure he made that series.
Probably. So, but again, it's been a good broadcast today. We appreciate everyone tuning in, and Tatum got the win, 4-2. Guys, what are your final thoughts about this one?
Again, I got to see Tuesday night. It wasn't much of a game. Today was a much better game. Both pitchers started out well, and again, it just came down to critical mistakes, right? A couple of mistakes by West Rusk led to 3 runs in an inning, and that was really your ball game. Tovar was highly effective. Just did an excellent job of keeping him off balance and working quick, and he gets the W.
Yeah, Tovar worked the zone a lot better. His defense backed him up a lot more.
That was the difference to me, the defense.
Yeah.
West Rusk made a few more mistakes, and Tatum were able to capitalize on them.
And, anytime if a pitcher, and I'm not saying this is the case, but if a pitcher does question his defense, he's going to nitpick a lot more in the strike zone, and he's going to go up a lot quicker in his pitch count. So Tovar was confident in his defense. He stayed in the zone, and, he could have finished it out, I believe. But, they brought in Barry, slammed the door. Great job.
Yeah, Tatum finishes with 4 runs on 8 hits, left 8 on base, and only really one of those runs was earned, as we talked about the errors. For the other side, for West Rusk, he had 2 runs on 5 hits, left 4 on base, and both of those runs were earned on that home run, the big blast that hit the tree. And again, a great ball game. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for letting us be part of your day.
That's going to do it. For Jeremy Diamond, Jason Cavazos, I'm Brett Swinney, signing off. Your final here in West Rusk. Tatum 4, West Rusk 2. Everybody have a great evening, and we'll see you next week right here on NETSN. Good night, everybody.
Tonight. Let your brother count on you every play tonight. Okay? And come out and have fun. The gates are locked. Ain't nobody getting out now. They can't run. The gates are locked. Let's bring the fight to them, guys. Yes, sir. Hey, brother. Let's pray.
The Northeast Texas Sports Network is dedicated on delivering the most entertaining sports broadcasts in East Texas. And if you're interested in having your next sporting event streamed live, visit us online at netsn.live.